Oh,
Top 5 movies of the year, our list.
Deaf films.
So, what do we think were the top 5 best movies of 2017?
Probably.
Which
The problem is,
We first have to give some insight to this. So,
I haven't seen all the movies. I have a life.
I have not seen all the movies here. I'm not that much of like a movie buff guy. Like it's just like I don't really go watch like 3 movies every day or some shit. Like
I also don't have.
I guess when it comes to movies, I'm more of like a normal. Like I'm more of a mainstream person. Well,
So
Pauli.
don't expect any art movies or that.
Well, I mean, yeah, and then Pauli here watches a lot more movies than us, and I mean a lot more. So he has seen a lot more different type of movies. While for us, you could probably see that we're probably gonna get more hate and people think we're stupid or something because we don't watch as artsy and like special movies that change your mind every time. So anyway,
well, of course it's gonna be fun. So let's not.
so me and Dave are more casuals when it comes to that, and Paul is the more buff, more the expert when it comes to this. So you know, and then obviously everyone has their own preferences to movies, which you probably gonna notice too. So yeah. Just want to mention, I didn't see the newest Coward Smacker movie, but if I had seen it when I did this review, it's probably would have been on my list. I just haven't seen it.
I also would have liked to see it.
But if I had seen it, it would probably be 100% that it would be on my list, but I just haven't seen it. So number 5, let's start from Paule.
Oh, me? Okay, here we go. We have. I want to mention Wind River.
Is that number 5?
Yes.
Okay.
Wind River.
Wind River is a thriller movie made by the guy who wrote Sicario and also wrote Hell or High Water from last year. It's set in, it's like a winter landscape and basically the better thriller of the year if you want to compare it to The Snowman. With Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye, and Scarlet Witch, Elizabeth Olsen, and Punisher.
Alright.
And then Graham Greene shows up as a cop. It's a mystery and it's a lot of different thrills.
We're not spoiling anything here.
The one negative I can say is that when we get to see some criminal characters, some bad guys, as you could call them, they're a little one-dimensional,
Okay.
a little typical. That's my
So-
one big negative, but otherwise it's pretty good.
David, number 5.
Hello, my name is David, and here is my top 5 movies of the year.
And?
My number 5 movie is It Comes at Night.
What do you think?
I like it. It's good. It was thrilling, and I was like, oh boy, the whole way through. I would watch it again. It was fun. Enjoy yourself. It's
My number
good
5?
acting and everything.
John Wick 2. Boom, boom, choo, choo. It's so, I mean, like, again, I'm an action movie fan, so like, it obviously had to have it in it. I thought it was good. It continued on with, you could say, John Wick lore and the universe.
100% it continued.
Like, in a sense, like, no, but it expanded the universe of the, like, with the different type of, like, underground societies and things like that. So expanded the universe and then just continue on with the same thing. Again, it's obviously a shallow story in that sense, but it's fun. I liked it. Like, it's a different action too. It's more like different than just like other action movies when it comes to like cinematography and like the type of things they do. And obviously, for me, I'm kind of a biased person towards Keanu Reeves movies.
As am I.
I feel like I have to support him. I feel like I have to help the actor because he hadn't had a good life. So I feel like I owe him to help him out and like his movies. 24 Ronin, whatever. Yeah. So yeah. Good movie. Waiting for number 3.
Jonathan, just walk away.
So yeah. Number 4, Paule.
Number 4 is The Killing of a Sacred Deer. It's from the guy who did The Lobster. Maybe you like that?
I like that movie.
Yorgos, he's from Greek, I think. It's a very difficult movie to get through sometimes. Because it gets very dark, it gets very disturbing, and it goes pretty fast to that extent, you know, to those lengths. It's filmed kind of like a Kubrick movie. Like very long shots, long takes, where camera pans around, like The Shining or Clockwork Orange or something like that. And it's like pretty much set in a world where a very realistic world, but then something surreal happens. Imagine like a Twilight Zone episode or like a Black Mirror episode where something really surreal can happen, and you can't really explain why it happens, but you just kind of have to accept it. That's the type of movie we're talking about.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard of it.
But it's not for everyone at all.
Okay.
Like be prepared because the first shot of the movie is a heart, a beating heart.
Okay.
So he's mentioning that.
David, number 4.
Hello, my name is David. This is my top 5 list of the year. My number 4 is Dunkirk. It's a great movie. I enjoyed it a lot. It's one of those movies where I feel like if you haven't seen it in the theater, that sucks because I think that's the most proper way to view this. It really is in a big screen with the sound feeling like it's inside your body. It's not going to be the same at home. Maybe you have a cool surround system, but even then, it's not going to feel the same. And it's definitely one of those movies where you literally grab a seatbelt because you're going to strap yourself in. Yeah, it was good shit.
My number 4 is also Dunkirk, actually. Same thing there. It's a movie you have to watch in the cinema. But the difference is this one still is rewatchable. Like, for example, is the movie Gravity. I feel like that movie, I saw it in the cinema, was super fun and entertaining watching, but it's not a movie I would ever watch again. So, I mean, that one just went past. But this one is like a movie I can watch again with great acting and everything. If you didn't see it in IMAX, like, that was a true experience of the movie. That was insane watching the movie on IMAX.
Nice loving being invited
Like,
to it,
that one was crazy on IMAX, I can tell you that much. Left me a good impact. Obviously, some minor concerns when it comes to, like, you know, blood and gore and things like that. I feel like maybe should have been needed, but it's a good movie. I liked it. Number 3.
Brad's Status. It's a smaller, more independent made movie. You probably haven't heard of it. Starring Ben Stiller. It's a very relatable movie about a guy who has to find a college for his son. So he tags along with him on a little bit of a father-son trip where they bond, and at the same time he also starts reflecting on his life and starts realizing how his friends have gotten so much further than him in life. They've found success in many different ways, but he feels that like he never got to the same level as them, and he starts feeling that they're looking down on him. So we hear his thoughts, his monologues, and it's very relatable and very honest, and like some of the things said in the movie are so true that you really relate to what's being said, and it's kind of like a daring thing to say some of the things, like some of those deep thoughts that he can't say to his son, but he can only say to the audience. So it's a very tragic story, but also very hopeful at the same time. So recommend it.
David.
Oh, hello, my name is David. Here's my top 5 movies of the year. My number 3 is Logan.
Yeah, it's good.
X-Men. It's great. It's a great movie. I think anyone should see it. I would say I would really hope you'd see the other ones just because it's gonna be that much more meaningful. If you have, it'll be a good story nonetheless if you haven't, but it'll mean a lot more if you've seen the rest, except for X-Men Apocalypse. Who gives a shit about that? But, you know, it was great. I saw it twice in the theater, one day in a row, like I think a day in a row, because we saw it together and you couldn't make it, so then we went again with you. I loved it. It was great from beginning to end, and I hope you too.
No. For me, it comes at night. I feel like nowadays horror movies are all bad. I feel like no one actually go back to like how it should be, and this one like intense and like good. And I like the universe of being like a post-apocalypse, but without zombies and that stupid shit. It's actually like a more thriller type thing and a little bit more realistic type thing too, because no like stupid creatures and shit like they're fighting. So yeah, I thought it was good. Like I enjoyed it a lot. It's like you have to see it. Number 2.
It's a tie.
Oh,
Yeah, you couldn't choose.
Get a tie.
It's 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri, tied to Blade Runner 2049. I couldn't choose between them. They're very different, distinctive different, but they're very good, both of them. 3 billboards has the best character development I've seen this entire year. This movie I would recommend to anyone who's a fan of Martin McDonagh, who has made 7 Psychopaths and In Bruges. This guy is a master at writing. This movie is about this mother who blames the cops for not finding her murdered and
He's the
kidnapped
new
daughter.
Tarantino.
So she finds 3 billboards outside the town, and she decides, hey, I'm gonna pay to have these words being written on the billboards. Basically blaming the cops. Hey cops, you haven't found my daughter. It's your fault. So everyone who drives past the billboards sees and reads what it says.
Funny.
So the cops start like feeling guilt. The cops seem very, very one-sided. Like it's very black and white at first, but then wait and see, and you'll see what happens.
And 2049.
And 2049 is the most visually stunning movies of the year. Like Denis Villeneuve really outdid himself with that, and the story of the android who does he dream of electric sheep. This is another movie. You go in and see it. Be like going blind and be amazed by what happens. And Harrison Ford gives the best performance he's given in a long time. It's pretty good stuff. But so both of them tied.
David.
Hello, my name is David, and here's my top 5 movies of the year. My number 2 is Star Wars Episode 8. I really like this movie. It's another saga in the Star Wars story that did a great job. It made me like it more than Episode 7, and I like it more than Episode 4. I like it more than the prequels, but then again, that's not very hard to do. I like it very much. It's a great film, and I saw it 2 times in the same day, and I can't wait to watch it some more. It was fun from beginning to end, and watching it again, some other stuff I did in the first time, and still has me on the edge of my seat for every scene. And still surprised at all the shots it takes, and lands most of them, if not all of them. So if you're a Star Wars fan, you know you're gonna watch it. And if you're a sci-fi fan, I mean, fuck, you know what Star Wars is. It's pop culture. Go watch it.
Number 2 for me. Well, I mean, how can you not expect Sandcastle? This one's a movie like most people probably won't see, and it's one that goes under the radar. It's a Netflix movie, so that's kind of interesting. And I felt like it's good. Like the characters felt real, like except maybe some here and there, but I thought it was just very well done, and like the soundtrack was great. Very underrated movie.
Very good soundtrack, by the way. It's like the end credits song is great.
So I think it's really good. Like go watch it. Yeah. Maybe not for everyone. I think you have some type of interest in the actual conflict and that type of scenario and people, I guess, or like that type of thing. So like it's not for everyone. So yeah, but
Polly, give us a few honorable mentions before we do number 1.
yeah.
Brigsby Bear, A Ghost Story, Loving Vincent, Radiance, A Good Time. I will also want to mention War for Planet of the Apes. I think that would be alright.
David?
For my honorable mentions, for comedy, I'm gonna say the Lego Batman movie, Thor, and Spider-Man, because they are action comedies.
Yeah.
And I'll also say if you're in the mood for something Christmassy, Netflix has the El Campo movie. It's nothing too special. It's an hour and a half, whatever. And then also some movies that I was debating on the list to make it or not in order of how I like them. Planet of the Apes, John Wick 2, Atomic Blonde, and Baby Driver. Those are honorable mentions.
Oh yeah, Baby Driver also.
For me.
For me, yeah, Baby Driver, honorable mention, Planet of the Apes, yeah. I kind of feel like I have to mention like, I don't know if this counts, but I feel like I have to mention the Netflix miniseries called Godless. I actually enjoyed it a lot, and I felt like, because it's kind of a, I don't know, but it's a miniseries, so it's one contained story in just a couple of episodes. But I still feel like I have to mention it because I actually enjoyed it a lot. It's like it's a good western, and like every character has a good story and background, and I feel like everything feels genuine. So yeah, you
mentioned it last year.
So I feel like it's yeah.
You want
What
to mention
else?
Punisher too?
Well, that's TV shows.
That's a TV
Sure,
show.
Punisher,
Punisher,
Daredevil,
of
Jessica
course.
Jones,
Well, I mean,
Iron Fist,
they
Luke
didn't
Cage.
come out this year.
Defenders.
Well, Punisher was a lot
Punisher.
better than Defenders.
I like Defenders a bit more. I felt like
Punisher.
Punisher gave me what I
Alright,
wanted.
is it time
You're
for
number
mine?
1. You're number 1.
Number 1.
Okay, this is another tie.
Well,
It's- I couldn't choose. It's The Other Side of Hope, Aki Kaurismäki, and Logan.
Oh,
Both
wow.
tied as
Ooh.
number 1. Yes.
Logan, that was
So
mine.
The Other Side of Hope is about a refugee who ends up in Finland, and now has to find a job and a way to get his sister away from his home country and get her to Finland, so they can all find a better life here. It's The Other Side of Hope, and it's also about a Finnish man played by Sakari Kuosmanen who runs. He's like a bit of a gambler at first, but then he decides I wanna start over. I wanna open a restaurant. So he meets the refugee, and he gives him a job, so both of them have to work together. So it's kind of
Oh.
like a nice, humble comedy, a warm-hearted little story about these two working together, and it brings all the charismatic magic to fold.
And
It's-
Logan?
And Logan is, ooh, you know, this one's really good. It's a culmination of the X-Men saga. Patrick Stewart and Hugh Jackman go on one final adventure on a road trip, both being old, and also at the same time have to save this young mutant played by Daphne Keane, called, I think her name is Laura in the movie. It gave the biggest impact on also when it comes to comic book movies this year. That ending was very, very heart-wrenching, and go see it. It's pretty good.
David.
Pretty good.
Hello, my name is David. Here's my top 5 movies of the year. My number 1 movie of the year is, I don't even have to look at it because I know it, but still, for the sake of I did all of the rest of them, Blade Runner 2049. It is my favorite movie of the year. I love it so much. I really want to watch it some more. I thought it was so pretty. It really made you feel like you were in there. Oh fuck! Real quick, honorable mentions, Ghost in the Shell. The reason I say that is because visually they're so pleasing. Visually,
They are.
look
They
so
have to
pretty.
admit.
Ghost in the Shell?
Like-
What the fuck? Like Ghost in the shit.
It looks so good that it was like I felt like I was truly there. Like it really made it real. And Blade Runner does the same thing. It really made me feel like it was a world. It was there. It was real. The characters are fucking awesome. The soundtrack was good. Like I remember the sound beats. I was sitting there and be like remembering like the little techno they would sneak in sometimes. And I'm like, oh fuck, that's awesome. And like, yeah, exactly. And the movie looks like absolutely gorgeous. Like this is not an action flick. You're not getting action up the ass. No, this is this is a sit down and like you know this is like clear minded sit down for like how long is this? 2 hours and something. And
40 minutes.
yeah. So you sit down and have a fucking blast with a great story, great acting. You know, it's a noir sci-fi story like the 1st one, but I think it's better than the first one. So it was the favorite movie of the year. So it really got me.
For me, well, of course, Unknown Soldier. Holy shit! Finland 100 years. Celebrate! Come on, people.
Boo.
Finland 100 years.
Why boo, David?
I don't know.
Fucking Unknown Soldier. It's a remake of. It's not really a remake, but it's based on the book Unknown Soldier. It's about the continuation war. Damn, fucking super good war film. Great characters. Like everything was just super good. Like
Fuck, Jesus.
It's
the war movie.
it's like a must see. It makes you proud to be Finnish. After you see it, you're like, damn. And like every scene is like intense. There's some great moments, like great characters. Every character feels like real, and like there's comedy, there's humor in it, and there's like everything.
Oh God, is that when the fuck did you guys get this? There's a giant poster of the.
Well, that's not the movie I was talking about, but
This is the Charismatic movie poster.
Oh.
you know, let me finish.
The Swedish one.
No, okay.
Okay, finish.
So yeah, like that's a must see. At least if you're Finnish, like support Finnish cinema, because at least they do some good movies, like special, like new type of movies.
Sweden.
You're saying,
Fuck.
like super good movie. Like the ending and like the final scenes there, you're like, damn shit, and like stuff like that. The soundtrack and like, damn, watch it, support it.
Really check out the honorable mentions too. Like some of them are really, really good
Yeah.
too. Like, it was difficult not
Honorable
having them on the
mentions,
list.
they're there because we like them.
Yeah.
Not all of them of the honorable mentions deserve to be in a top 5 or even
No.
top 10, but they're still movies that we enjoyed throughout the year.
Yeah.
And these were some of ours that we enjoyed.
Yeah.
Like, do
movies-
yourself a
movies
favor
like-
and do check out the top 5 from all of us /top 1 /top 7 for Pauli.
And as you notice,
Ridiculous.
Pauli is probably the more movie person here. Me and David are more like casuals here.
I like TV.
Like lean towards it, support it.
So, yeah.
There we go.
All right,
I
That-
Ghost Story, check that one out. Really
that's all
If you
from
like
Ghost
snowboarders.
in the Shell was not that bad.
Suck.
Unless you're like in
Not
the
that bad.
anime, then I guess you're not
Suck
like it.
shit. Ghost in the Shell, more like
Worst
Ghost in
movie
Hell.
of the year, Arsenal.
We'll talk
Nicolas
about that
Cage.
in next video.